me explain in other ways. So anywhere, if you are not understanding, let me know. Okay. So this one is a Dell company, right? This one is a Seagate. This one is a pen drive company. This one is a Microsoft. Okay, all four companies. They are all planning to create on a laptop, right? So who will create hardware? Dell company. Dell company will create a laptop, right? So who will create OS for it? Microsoft, right? So who will create hard disk? Seagate. Who will create a pen drive? Transcend, right? So they cannot work independently. They need to depend on each other. So what they will do? They will come in a common agreement. So one of the company like Microsoft or Dell, they will give standards. They will say like, I want this to be happen. So they will give interfaces. Hope you remember what is interfaces, right? We discussed this when we are discussing about interface, right? Interface is nothing but a definition, a structure. They will share with each other. Then once they are sharing that common agreement, they will start working on that particular interface, right? Consider like this one is the interface. Okay, everyone should follow that interface. This company, this company, this company, all should follow interface. So for example, if I want to speak with you, I need to have a common language. If I am not having common language, we cannot able to speak it, right? So same way, when everyone want to interact, everyone should come to common platform. That is called an interface, right? So based on that interface, everyone should create their own software or hardware, right? So once they are creating a software or hardware, they need to release their drivers, right? That drivers will help them to connect with each other. Okay, for example, Windows created, they created the laptop OS got installed. Now Seagate is going to give a hard disk. So when they are giving hard disk, they will give one CD stating like, please add this to connect with my pen drive, right? Hard drive. So they will give one interface or driver to do these steps. So you understand? Anyone understand and having still doubts? Now let's come back to here. So we are having two softwares here, not a single software. One is Java, one is MySQL or Postgres. Consider like we are using MySQL. Okay. So to connect these two, we need a driver. Who should give a driver? MySQL following the standard of Java. So who will give interface? Interface will be given by Java. Driver will be given by MySQL. Okay. So now let's see this. I am having one code which will connect with database. Okay. So I'm having everything. So you can see like I'm having connection with username, password, and DB. You can see username is there, password is there, right? So when I'm running it, you can see one problem will come. Let's see what problem will come. I will explain you this code in few minutes. What it's saying? No suitable driver form. We are having two software. We are trying to connect two software, but there is no driver given. Driver is not there. So what we need to do? So we need to ask MySQL team to give us a driver. Okay. So what we'll do? We'll go to Google. Here, You'll ask MySQL JDBC driver download. I will use Maven as of now. It's a very famous repository. So you can see MySQL connector. I will be downloading it. Okay. So here when you are going, you can see driver, right? So drivers are there. So I need to download the driver. So let me go with the 8.0. Here you can see I can download a jar. Yeah, here you can see jars. Jar is not there. I will go with little older version. I need to see jar with the size. Nothing is there. Yeah, it is not there. Let's go with 5. Yeah, jar. Okay. So I'm taking which version? 5.1.48 version of a jar. So I'm downloading it. Now it's in downloads. I'm just copying it. E, right? So now I'm having jar with me. MySQL connected dot jar. You're able to see, right? So now I need to copy this jar to my project. Okay. So now I need to install this jar to my project. How I can do? Right click the project, properties, Java build path. This one, everything is automized now. I'm just showing you the older version. Previously, how we used to do. Currently, we are not doing these stupid things now. Okay. Now, if you're going, here you can see class path. I can add jar. Okay. I can select src on MySQL. I can add the jar. So here, what I'm doing, I'm installing the jar from MySQL team. Apply and close. Now let me run. What will happen? So now it's connected. It's not able to fetch the data because of username or password something wrong, right? But it is able to connect. Could not connection to database server. Okay, now let's see why it is not. What is our MySQL workbench? We'll go to MySQL workbench. We'll take some good connection. So I'm feeling like I'm speaking alone. No one is responding. Go with the Java training. Here I will go with the. I'll explain you individually. Don't worry about what I'm placing here now. Java training, and then root and password. Select start from cancel. So now let's go run again. See, I got the data. Okay. Now ID and name, I'm able to get the connected with the database and fetching the data. Okay. So now before I was adding driver, it's saying like no suitable driver found. So why it is happening? Because I'm having two different companies. One is MySQL, one is Java. Both companies are separately working. They need to have agreement with each other. So interface will shared by Java team to MySQL team. I want interface like this. And MySQL team, what did they did? They will use that interface and they will create their driver. Okay, different versions. So they given one version to us. We use that driver. Now we install our driver in Java code. Now we are able to connect. Okay. So any questions still here? No, sir. So right. So now let's go back. What here we are doing? See, this one is a traditional code, legacy code. So you no need to worry about the complex things here, but I want you to understand what we are doing here because the basics are very important. That's why we are trying to get it. Okay. So now everyone, I want everyone to note down these 5 steps. Okay. The first thing is when I'm going to notepad, I will write the steps. Okay. So, critically, it's very, very important to understand. Okay. First step is whenever you are connecting with JDBC, right? So it's a JDBC. What is the meaning of JDBC? Java. Java is from our side. Database is separate software, right? Then connectivity. We are connecting Java with database. This is called JDBC, right? So first thing what we need to do is registering driver. First thing what we need to do, we need to register the driver. Okay. Then loading driver. Why loading the driver? Driver is not our software. We need to take help from third party team. We need to load the driver in our Java code. Right. Then preparing a connection. Right. So to connect with database, what we need? We need a connection. Even when you are using MySQL Workbench, right? So who work MySQL Workbench till now, right? So we need to give some details to MySQL Workbench. For example, in this case, when I'm connecting with database, right? For example, if I'm creating this new connection, it is asking for few details here. You're unable to see, right? So it will ask for host name, port, then username and password. 4 things it will ask, and it will ask for database schema also. Okay. So now when I'm preparing connection, I need to give what? Need to give host, username, password, and database. Right? All together, if you are giving, we will call it a JDBC URL. Okay. So when you see this here, I am having is completely called JDBC URL. Here you can see first one I given. I'm going to use a MySQL driver. Right. Here I'm giving localhost because database is installed in my local system. Right. So then I'm giving port number. Then I'm giving database name. This one is not required, this line, but this one is for secure connection, SSL. We discussed HTTPS, right? Similarly, for that I'm using it. So now here, what is the username? What is the password? Right? This one is called database JDBC URL. Okay. So first one is registering and loading the driver. Second one is preparing a connection, right? Or fourth one is preparing a query, right? What we need to do when we connected with, we need to write a query, right? For example, I'm writing select star from EM, right? So now I written the query. Now what I need to do? Execute the query, right? So once I'm executing query, what will happen? I will get a result, right? So sixth thing is
Print the data.
processing the result or result set, right? So please remember these points. Okay. So for JDBC connection, we need a minimum of these points. These two you can club together if you want. Okay. Registering driver is now outdated. We are not using this point now. Older database connection, we need to do register a driver, right? So now we can start from here itself, loading the driver, preparing a connection, preparing a query, executing a query, processing the result set. Last and final thing is closing the connection, closing the result set and closing the connection. Okay. So can anyone repeat what we are doing here? I want everyone to remember these points.
First of all, we need to load the drivers, prepare the connection.
Hmm.
Like we need to give the host name, username, password, and
Hmm.
database. This is called URL. Preparing a query for fetch the data and execute that query and process the result set. And after completing, we need to close that connection.
Very good. So we need to close the connection. Very good. So now let's see what I am doing here. Okay. So here you can see the first line, right? So if you are taking little older code, we will be having another line here. You know what is that one? Class dot per name. Okay. So here we used to give a driver name. Previously. What it will do is it will load the driver. Okay. So this one is no more required now in latest function. See now also when you are using drivers, right? So most of the cases is auto detected, right? Pen drive lagana deri automatically. First time when you are using pen drive, it will take some time. It will install automatically. You saw that, right? So same thing happening here also. You don't need to register driver now. Okay, it is getting automatically connected. Then once you are connecting, you need to get the connection, right? So how you will connect the two? You are giving database URL, username and password, and you are giving and you are getting a connection, right? Then creating a statement, right? So what is the statement? Creating a query. Here what you are doing? You are creating a query. How you are query? Select star from EMP, right? So once you are doing what you are doing, you are executing a query. Then what you are getting? You are getting a result set. Critically, only we are going here because this one we are not using anymore. But I want you to understand this. Please note. Okay. So here what we are doing? We are getting the result set. Select star from EMP. Then what we are doing? We are processing the result set. What we are doing here? This part you can see like I'm just fetching the details and I'm printing it. Okay. So then I'm closing the connection. Closing connection is also not mentioned, but we can close the connection here. Okay, connection dot close. Here I can write connection dot. Okay, once you're done with your code, you can close the connection. Normally, we'll use it in finally. We'll see it later. Okay. So, any questions still here? I will use this code. You can try. You can connect also. No. Any questions? Now let me repeat. Critically, first one is this session is about JDBC. What is JDBC? Java Database Connectivity. Java is a software. Database is a software. To connect these two, we need a driver, right? So how we can do? First, we need to load the driver, download the driver. We need to copy the driver in your project, and you need to install it. So how we can do that? We need to search in Google for driver. We need to download the driver, right? So you can see driver is here, jar file. Once you are downloading, you can copy in your project, right? Where I copied in same package, but you don't need to worry. You can copy anywhere. Okay. Once you are copying that, what you need to do? You need to right click. You need to go to property. You need to go to Java build path, right? Once you are going to Java build path, you can select add jars, right? Once you are clicking add jars, for example, let me remove this, right? So now again, I'm going to class path, add jars. Then I'm going there, src. Then you can see like my jar is there. Okay. Then I'm adding a class path to a jar. Then I'm correcting it. Now I'm able to run it without any problem. Okay. So I'm writing select star from EMP. So I'm using EFP number in anywhere. If you're having questions, you can ask. You need
Sir, for each time you need to install the jar, sir.
no, one time only for one project, one time. But it is now automated when we are going to use Maven. No need to worry. You no need to install. Automatically, it will get installed.
Okay, sir.
So I will tell you that one also how we can do that.
Sir, if you are using Oracle, we need to download Oracle drivers, right?
Exactly. Very good. It's a very good find. See here, I'm using MySQL, right? If you want to use Oracle, what you need to do is you need to search for Oracle JDBC driver Maven, right? Then you can go here. You can see our drivers here, right? So when I'm opening it, so you can see here jars are there, different versions, right? You can download, select any jar, and you can see it's a Java driver, Oracle driver. If you want Postgres, you need to search for Maven Postgres driver, right? So for each and every database, you need to have associate driver. Postgres, you can see Maven repository, Postgres driver, right? You need to go to particular version, right? Then you need to download the jar. You need to add the jar. One project, one jar. For one project, no. Even multiple projects, you can use same jar. Same jar. You need to add it in your project. Okay. Any other question? It is a good question. Any other question? Jiminy?
Sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now let's go a little in detail on this particular part. Okay. So here I am having a statement, right? Statement. This line. Okay. This one, first one is a connection, driver connection, right? So this one will create a connection driver manager dot get connection, right? So if you are going in detail, if you are going theory wise, this connection is the interface. When you are opening this code, connection is the interface. No code is written here, right? This one will be given by Java. Okay. So they will not give any code. Who will write this code? This code will be written in driver. Who will do this? This will be done by MySQL team. So this interface given by Java and code will be written by MySQL team, right? So you see here. So all the things wherever you are using its interfaces only. Connection is interface. Statement is the interface. Results it is in the interface. It's not a concrete classes. So all the things will come from drivers. They written the code in a driver. You don't need to write a code to fetch the data. You don't need to create a code for updating the data. You need to just pass the commands, right? So you're saying select star from EMP. They will connect with database, they will fetch the result set and they will pass the result set, right? So for result set, you never written the code. You're just using it, right? So these all things will be done by a driver team. Who is driver team? In this current context, it's a MySQL team. They also written in Java only. The complete, because jar means JAR means it's a Java archive files. They created the Java code and they given to us. Okay. So now let's go with a little details here and we'll go to next step. Right. So here, this one is a connection object. right? This is interface. So this one is we are giving URL, username and password. Same as how we do in MySQL Workbench. We'll use these details here, right? So whenever we are creating any connection, we are giving the details here. So host name, port, username, password. Right? Same thing we are also doing. Another thing, this Workbench is also having the same driver. This one we use the same MySQL driver to connect with the database. So this MySQL Workbench will not be having its own code. So they will be taking help from MySQL team only. Okay. So now that also MySQL Workbench developed by MySQL team only. So they are using that MySQL driver. So now when you are having database URL and password, now you are getting the connection, right? So here you can see you are saying like connection dot create statement, right? So what is this create statement? Okay, this one will help us. This statement interface will help us to execute the query, right? Select execute query, right? So select this statement is having three types. Okay, so what are the three types of statements? Anyone aware? One is called simple statement. Well, whatever we are using here, right? This statement STMT, it's a simple statement. Okay. So second one is called prepare statement. Third one is called callable statement. Please remember this theory. Okay, there are three types of statement. One is simple statement. Second one is prepare statement, and third one is callable statement. This simple statement is used only for simple select queries. Simple select queries. Can't I use for complex queries? Yes, you can use it, but not recommended. Can you use for update? Yes, you can use, but not recommended. Only if you are having a simple query, then you go with a simple statement. Any insert, update, any complex queries, don't never go with a simple statement. Why? Because it's having a problem with the string manipulation. Hackers will get the data by using SQL injections. They call it as SQL injection. We can get the data by using SQL injection. I will go in detail about SQL injection later because I don't want to waste time, right? So simple statement is a bit risky when you are using with complex queries. Okay, because it's having a lot of string manipulation. It's easy for hackers to inject the queries. Okay. Second most recommended one is prepare statement. Why? Here you're not passing the string, you will be passing some other way. I will show you how we are passing it. So prepare statement is the most recommended way. Here you can avoid SQL injections. When I went as one project as a reviewer, okay, so freshers did the project. So I'm able to identify the username and passwords also by using SQL injections. Okay, so if you are using simple statement, there is a risk that we can give some data which will give them their passwords. Okay, it's very risky to use a SQL statements. Okay, simple statements. So now let's go with how we can go with the prepare statement. Okay, how prepare statement same. There is no much difference. So only instead of statement, what we need to do is I will comment this line. Okay, I will use prepare statement. How it will work? Let's see. Prepare statement. STMT. I'm using same name. Connection dot prepare statement. Okay. Here, instead of running execute query, what I will do here is I will write a same query. Select start from EMP where, because I am using little complex query, that's why. EMP number is equal to question mark. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm using question mark. It's asking for exception. Paste. It is asking for cast. Not required. Checking the paste statement I used. Okay, so replace statement. Function dot replace statement. I'm adding it, right? So I'm passing EMP number. Now I'm not passing directly. What I will do is, how I can pass EMP number is EMP number. Sorry. How I will pass EMP number is stmt dot set int first parameter. I will say what we are having, some number from employee number. Let's see some result.
7788, sir.
Okay, 736 can be used. Okay. Okay, 7369. So instead of hard coding value, what I'm doing is I am passing the value. Mismatch. From is what? That's fine.
Sorry, after we'll select query, after where you are not mentioning correct spelling.
No, not that one. That's something different. TMT only, right? It's TMT. TMT. Parameter index. Then after what is the number? 7369. Syntax. Something very the same. Okay, it's correct semicolon only. Okay, that's it. Okay, then we are having now what I will do, I will use statement dot execute query. Let's go double quote. There. And index parameter index value int value. Why this will be okay? Let's see. I will even start executing. Let's see. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm just passing the parameter here, right? Instead of directly passing the value, what I'm doing, I'm passing by using statement, right? So once I'm passing with statement, so I can execute query, stmt dot execute query. Now what the difference is, like I am using understanding. Missed some brackets. Is the portrait now? Let me write again. Okay. Statement, and I will go with the outcome there. GMP number is the person. Till now we are not having an issue. Right. Now I will use replace statement. Here, statement interface. Now I'm saying GMP dot set and index values 7.6. Okay, so now once we are having this, let's see what error it will show. Okay, so now we know need this. PSVP. Then we are going to execute query. We know need this particular part. Why? Because we are already having the query here, right? So once we are having it, we can get the details. Now, difference between a simple statement and this statement is like we are not immediately passing value, and we are saying like we are passing integer only, right? So you cannot pass whatever you want. But in this case, in previous case, you can manipulate the string. You can give something which can inject it. I will give you details of what is SQL injection in future. But in this case, what you are doing, you are setting the parameters separately. Okay, you are not using any value. Let me run it. Tokens misplaced. I don't know what. There it is misplaced. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. So now this is called prepare statement. Prepare statement is a recommended one which will help us to install the parameters whenever on demand basis. Right? We cannot directly manipulate the string. Now you need to use set int for int. If you want to pass a string, set string. If you want to pass date, set date. Right? So it will help us to avoid any SQL injections. Okay. So the most recommended part of the this is prepare statement. Then what is this callable statement? Okay. So this one is a traditional one. 99% we are not using it now. So if you know about PLSQL, how many aware of PLSQL?
Sir, PostgreSQL, updated version of SQL.
No. What is PLSQL?
Procedure language, sir.
Procedure language, right?
Yes,
so initially, when we are working with database, we can do programming by using Oracle SQL queries itself, right? There is one thing called procedures, functions and procedures. How many are aware of functions and procedures? This one is a database, completely database.
Yes, sir.
You can write functions, you can write calculations, you can write a business logic by using SQL itself. That's called PLSQL. To call that PLSQL from Java, we are using callable statement. So we are not using it. I'm not going very detailed here because similarly, like prepare statement, we are having callable statement. Callable statement will help us to call store procedures. What is store procedures? The procedure which is residing in database itself. Okay, that's called procedures. So any questions? Let me again explain a theory again. First one is what is JDBC? JDBC is nothing but a Java database connectivity. It will help us to connect from Java to database. So how we can do that? We are having few steps we need to follow. First one is registering and loading the driver. Second one is preparing a connection. Third one is preparing a statement, right? Preparing a statement is query. Here we are having two ways, three ways. One is simple statement. Second one is prepare statement, and third one is callable statement, right? So prepare statement, simple statement is a statement where we need to run only simple queries, right? So where we are having simple string manipulations, right? So then we are having prepare statement. Prepare statement is recommended because we can control the way how we are passing the parameter. We will just give question marks and we can pass the parameters. And third one is callable statement. Callable statement is used to call store procedures. Okay. So what is store procedures? Store procedures are a business logic which is written in a PLSQL, SQL programming or database, any database language. So everyone clear? Any questions? It's just a theory, but I want you to remember this because these questions they are asking in interviews. So any questions, Uzaifa?
Time, what are the chances we are using this kind of process?
So if you are going to old projects, definitely you need to use this. But most of the cases they are not using it. 99% they are not using. Unfortunately, if you're going to like very old bank projects are there, right? So some of the projects like Nissan is having some traditional code, some Ford company. If you are going to those projects, there also they are upgraded, but rarely you will get a chance to see the old code. So in that cases, you are going to use JDBC, but 99% you are not going to use it.
JP Hibernate, right?
Yeah, we are going to use JP Hibernate only most of the cases. But please remember, don't ignore it. That's why I spent one day, which is very important to understand these steps. Please remember this theory. They are asking in interview, especially for freshers. They'll keep on asking this question. I think Sana has faced some interview where she got the JDBC questions, right?
Yes, sir, but I was unable to answer, sir, because I have no idea at that time.
Yeah. So now that questions which they asked covered or
Sir?
the questions which they asked covered or you still need
Covered, sir, covered, sir. They just asked me what is JDBC, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay, just remember these steps. First is registering driver, loading the driver, preparing the connections, preparing a statement, statement types, simple statement, prepare statement, callable statement, right? Execute query, processing the result set, closing the connection, right? So the big one of the important question asked to seniors. Okay, it's very important for seniors. They are asking how we can optimize the code. So, for example, there are lakhs of records, right? In DB, how you can optimize the code. So those things you need to think here. And another thing, very big problem will come is out of memory error will come. And sometimes connection exalted exceptions will come, right? So why that will come is because, for example, when you're opening this connection, right, database, how many people can connect? by default, they will allow you to connect 10 connections. Okay. So once the 10 people immediately connected, 11th connection will not happen. It will be very slow, or it will wait other connection to get closed. So if you are missing to close the connection, right? So we are having connection dot close, right? If you are missing to close these connections, what will happen? So if you are manually not closing, it will wait for some time and it will get closed. But that connections are getting used. So once that connections are getting used, what will happen? For other people, after 10 people, they are not able to connect it. So it's very important to reuse the connections. Once you are done with it, close the connection. Okay. So it's very, very important when they are asking for what are the problems will come when you are in JDBC. When you are using JDBC, you have to close the connection manually. You need to close the result cell also manually. If you are not closing it, what will happen? Connection will get exhausted. Exhausted means will be used by many people. So no, system will become very dead slow. If you are not using properly connections, what will happen? You are not able to connect with the database properly. So are we good with JDBC? Now let me ask you questions. Let's see how deeper you understood. Okay. So what if I want to insert the data? Prepare statement. Tell me the query how I can, for example, I want to insert employee details. How I can insert? Prepare statement.
Sir, instead of using select statement, we can use insert command, sir.
Very good. Tell me. He's telling actually, he's trying. I'm talking about insert. 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 What is the syntax for insert?
Insert into table name EMP.
And
we should mention columns.
Tell me the column names. One or two columns.
EMP number, comma E name, comma salary.
Let it be two columns. Okay. Then.
Okay. Values. Question mark and question mark.
Very good. Question mark and question mark. Right? We don't know those values as of now. Right?
Yes.
So now we need to pass.
We need to set the values.
Very good. We need to set the values. Okay. So once we are setting the value, we can, instead of execute query will not come now. Why? Because it's not a select query. Here what will come? We'll get a execute or execute update. Okay. When you are running this result set will not come. Why? Because now this is not a.
We cannot get any data, sir. We only inserting the data.
Exactly. It will give a count. How many records got updated, right? So how many records will get updated in this case?
One, sir.
Exactly. It will give us a one record updated, right? So any, for example, if you want to delete the records, what I need to do? Anyone else? I don't want the same people to repeat. Where I need to change? Hello? Hussein, what happened?
Sorry, sir. Sorry. Sir, we need to change it to 19th, right, sir? Select start from EMP where EMP. There we need to, after before starting EMP, select we need to add that.
Yeah, tell me how I can delete employee number 717369.
Delete. Sorry, sir, not delete, sir.
Not delete. Quickly.
Sir, delete from EMP. Where EMP number is equal to 7369.
Oi.
One, sir.
Question mark.
Yes, sir. Question mark. Sorry, sir.
Yeah. So never hard code the value. If that's what the problem with statement, right? Statement we can pass directly values, right? So statement is not recommended. That's why. So now let me show you one SQL injection example, and we'll close it. Okay. So now consider like I'm using simple statement, right? Simple statement. I want to get some value. How will write normally? Statement st is equal to new. Sorry. Connection dot simple state statement, sorry. State statement, right? Then I will write st dot execute query. Here I need to write a query, right? So for example, I'm getting username and password. Select star from username. For example, username. Oh, sorry. Select username password from EMP where EMP number is equal to EMP name is equal to. I'm writing plus here. Okay. Then string manipulation. I'm doing string manipulation here. Okay. So what I will do is I will say like I will use string here. I will take input from screen. I think. Okay. Username. For example, unless right string password is equal to ABC. Okay. This one is username and password. So what I'm using here, just name, right? I will pass username here. And password is password. This looks good normally, right? So when you are saying like username, I'm passing username password only, I will get the record. Otherwise, I won't get the result. Right? It looks good, but I can play with this data. For example, I don't know what is inside. Okay, what I will do is you will write this one. Then in password side, what I will write now? I will write ABC XYZ something. I don't know the password, right? So I'll write like this. Then I will write R1 equal to 1. What will happen in this case? Password is incorrect, but you will get all the results. You know that because 1 is always a
1 equal to 1 means we get the exact results, sir. 1 equal to 2 means we get we cannot get the data.
yes. So even though you don't know the password, I'm able to get all the records. Yes or no? So what will happen in this case? I am just replacing this string with this one, and I am manipulating the query. You understood? It is called SQL injection. Even though I don't know the data, even I don't know Anis also, I don't need to worry. Just I will say something. I will just say 1 equal to 1. This one is a false, right? False statement. I'm saying like Ani ABC name, ABC password. I don't know the password, but I am adding last this R condition, which is always true. It will give me always the result. So I know everyone's username and password in this case. Yes or no? Got it?
Yes.
A little difficult to understand, but try to go a little deeper when you are thinking, right? So the query I'm manipulating by using this. So how to fix this? Instead of using simple statement, what I will do? I will use prepare statement. Now I cannot play with the data like this, right? So when I'm passing this data, it will throw exception. Please pass string. Please pass int. right? So I cannot play with the data. So it's always better to go with the prepare statement. Another advantage of prepare statement is not having string manipulation, right? It's little faster than normal query. It's called pre-compiled queries are there. So when compared to simple statement, prepare statement is a little faster. These 2 points you can say when you are discussing about. So any questions? I will take another 5 minutes and we'll close it.
When you are not using all conditions, there will be an error.
No, not required. It's not a problem. You get no result found because you don't know the username and password, right? No result found. And it might be aware of this SQL injections, right? Hanif? Why not audible?
I am traveling, sir.
Okay. So hope we are good. Josefa,
Yes, sir. Understood,
any
sir.
questions?
Sir, I have little bit doubt on jar, sir.
Tell me.
It acts as a for loading driver. We use jar, sir.
Driver itself jar.
Driver itself jar.
Yes. For example, when you are saying like when I'm saying pen drive, right? They will give CD, right? The
Yes,
CD
sir.
is a jar. So we need to install it.
Yes, sir.
So interface is given by Java. They will prepare a jar for that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good question. Pushpa. Srikanth, sir.
Sir, no doubts.
Hussein.
Sir, I'm good, sir.
Katisha. If you ask questions, Gemini.
Sir, I'm good with it.
Okay. Sana.
Clear, sir. No questions.
Okay, ma'am. Mostly tomorrow will be no class. Day after tomorrow we'll be having class on ORM. So I will go with Hibernate and JPA. So it's very important class. Very important class. Okay.
Sir, sorry to disturb, sir. Sir, what is homework? Actually, homework is not feeling well. That's why
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
I need to ask the homework for you.
Okay.
What I need to inform you.
Homework I already given. I don't know. I didn't got any response. So hope everyone tried at least the.
Few people are working on it, but they are not seeing.
Okay. Okay, closing this call. Thank you very much.
Thanks.